Hooah! We are live, and we're doing a free rolling Jackman Radio kind of happy hour, just for fun type thing tonight. Eric and I haven't streamed together in a little bit. We've been kind of busy, a lot of stuff going on in our personal lives, but we love podcasting. We're happy to be doing it again, and we're joined by Greg Pasta Jardula. How you doing today, Pasta? Thanks for coming in short notice.
Oh man, thanks for having me on, man. It's you guys seem to be doing a lot of workouts. I saw a workout video with somebody who just all sweat dripping down his face. He was Jack, man.
Yeah, get down.
Yeah, that was me. I get over to the gym a couple times a week. I have a trainer, and she has in her basement a totally redone, brand new gym down there. So
Awesome.
I don't have to deal with a gym full of people, and it's really nice. So yeah, trying to do that, man. I mean, when the pandemic hit, I was just at my computer or on my couch or in my bed, and I'm like, I need to do something about this. And I remembered, she trained people, and she was having her second baby, and I'm like, after you have your second baby, would you be willing to take me on as a client? She said absolutely. So I've been doing that a year and a half now, and it's been great. It's been good.
Nice, brother.
It's like a Karate Kid scenario. Daniel-san.
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 Do you watch Cobra Kai at all, Pasta? Have you done the deep dive?
No, I watched the first season because my friend was on it, but I didn't watch it ever since then. My good friend is Brett Ernst. He plays Cousin Louie.
Oh, okay.
He has a residency every Tuesday and Wednesday here in Vegas for his comedy. He's like a top 5 comedian. Like he's like, I mean, I'm not just saying that because he's a good friend of mine from back east, and I love the guy, but he's just one of the best comedians out there. He really respected and loved by Kurt, by Jimmy. They love this guy. He's a comedian's comedian, and every once in a while I'll go peek at the show, but the show is pretty bad. I mean, I just
Oh, it's so goofy, but
I can't.
It's fun. It's the nostalgia because I grew up loving the Karate Kid movies. I think by the third one though, Daniel's son was like 29 years old, believe it or not, and now that actor Ralph Macchio is 60.
Yeah, dude, Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue was awesome. And then she was great leaving Las Vegas. Woo!
So, yeah.
Oh, Louis. He's the cousin at the car dealership.
Yes, cousin Louis.
Okay, so that's your buddy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
he does the Goomba persona in the show. Would you say?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
They have some fun scenes in the new season with Chosen, who was the villain in Karate Kid Part 2, and it's just cool what they've done with the characters. I mean, it's complete cheese, but I enjoy it from an entertainment perspective. And wanted to kick off tonight. We just found out the news in the last couple hours. Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac passed away. I think she was like 79 years old. And I've always kind of been a fan of hers. I always thought she was a little bit of an undercard and a little bit underrated, even within Fleetwood Mac. I don't know. Are you a fan of Fleetwood Mac, Pasta?
Yeah, I'm not a crazy over the heels, music person, but I like Fleetwood Mac,
Yeah, so she was responsible for one of their biggest hits, "Don't Stop," which it's funny how the Democratic Party kind of hijacked that song. You see a bunch of boomer, neo-libs like, go? "Don't stop thinking about dropping bombs." Well, it's tomorrow, but I added that. Yeah.
Do the Brandon Joe Biden version, Mike.
Don't stop sniffing your granddaughter's hair. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. So she did that one. She also did "Everywhere" and "Little Lies," which was two of my favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. Yeah. And at one point in the 80s, she was married, in the late 70s to early 80s, she was married to Dennis Wilson, the drummer for the Beach Boys.
Okay.
And
didn't she date somebody in the band, and then that person had a relationship with Stevie Nicks too, or something? Or I don't know the love triangle that was going on in Fleetwood Mac. Maybe.
Well, I know the love triangle because I was their attending physician, Pasta, and Christine McVie was married to John McVie, the bass player, to this day, and they came as a package, and so did Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. You're looking at two couples, and I think Mick Fleetwood had an affair with Stevie Nicks at one point, and they all did a lot of cocaine. So,
sounds like Ukraine. It really does.
Speaking of Ukraine and bears and Russia and cocaine, have you seen this trailer for Cocaine Bear that just came out today? It's one of Ray Liotta's last movies. I mean, this is unbelievable stuff, Pasta.
No, I did not.
So this is based on, and it's fitting that this is a posthumous release for Ray Liotta, and they got him in a ridiculous wig, and he plays like a gangster. has a shipment of cocaine flying over like the state of Georgia, I think, and the plane crashes and a bear gets a hold of the cocaine. This is a true story that happened in 1985. And
this did not happen. This is somebody bullshitting and saying it really did happen. I don't believe it.
Well, they took some liberties. They took a few liberties. Like,
are we watching the trailer or no? Because now I'm so intrigued. It's like,
how do I do that? Do I hit present and share?
Yeah, present, share
Screen.
Then you're going to go to the Chrome tab, and then you just will be able to select on one of the tabs after the Chrome tab comes up.
All right. You guys are going to like. I have to show this.
It's a pasta tutorial in real time.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm not the most tech savvy. Bear with me.
StreamYard's easy. Just actually go watch a couple tutorials, and you'll learn the whole thing. It's pretty damn simple, you know.
All right, so we go to share screen.
Mm-hmm. Chrome tab.
Info word.
I got Chrome opened up. Chrome tab.
And then it will give you a choice of which tab.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Now,
it's coming.
Now you're gonna have to mute your mic before you press play, because otherwise there'll be an echo. So
okay,
and then
here we go, guys.
You can open that big in the YouTube screen.
Oh,
make it big.
Okay, this is the world premiere trailer of Cocaine Bear, starring Ray Liotta.
Betty!
Oh, Jesus. What is that?
Beth, we should go.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine fell from the sky this morning in Knoxville, Tennessee.
There's more of this out there. They dumped it somewhere.
I'm looking for my daughter.
Forest is a dangerous place.
Hey, Henry, check it out. Something got into it. A deer, maybe.
A lot of cocaine was lost. I need you to go and get it.
No, don't eat that, don't eat that. Let's see what kind of effect that has on
The bear, it fucking did cocaine. A bear did cocaine.
There was a bear.
A bear?
It was far.
Hey, that's inappropriate.
You're safe. Bears can't climb trees.
Of course I can.
Higher, baby.
Oh shit.
Get higher, baby.
It kind of seems like the thing that stays with the man forever.
Apex predator. High on cocaine. Out of his mind. Oh man, you fucked.
What the fuck is wrong with that bear?
Shoot it, man.
Bear, speed up!
Get higher, baby. And don't ever come down.
We have such good luck in nature.
What
There you go, guys. Cocaine Bear.
Dude, Ray Liotta looks like the cocaine bear.
Oh my God.
That's something Poikinen
God,
would like.
guys.
Poikinen would enjoy that one.
Yeah, he'd be into it. That was actually his code name when he smuggled in for the cartel in the 80s. It's Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
Yeah, they called me Cocaine Bear.
I wonder if they're going to have Barry Seal make a cameo. You know, he's the one who drops the cocaine for the bear.
He's Cocaine Seal.
So there was a great tweet that came out of the New Hampshire Libertarian Party. I'm wondering what you guys think about this, because really, to tell you the truth, I have not been sleeping that great for the last couple of days because I've been very anxious. The anxiety's been hitting me. And it was after this whole, it seemed like the timing was just crazy. If you don't know, I've been trying to get on recently, just trying to push to get on Tucker so I can talk about the Brazilian elections. I feel that an unbiased point of view is needed. And I know people will go dig back to my history, see how I praised Lula back in the days, but understanding what Lula had to do to get what he had to do to get for his people, or whatever the case may be, made me move away from him, from supporting him, and however, when it comes to elections, you guys know I just want to show up, make sure the election's valid, and bounce. All I care about is national sovereignty. So I feel that there needs to be another point of view, an unbiased point of view when it comes to Brazil, because what's going on right now with the Bannon crew, the Alex Jones crew,
This is the
here.
I'm going to eat your cerebral cortex last.
With this crew is this whole push, and they're using the same couple journalists to get this kind of mindset that the Brazilians' elections are being stolen by the Chinese. And I've heard talks when I was at the Clark County Commissioner's office for the certification. I was saying, we don't know who's counting our ballots, alluding to the companies being owned by private equity, zombie companies, that you don't know who owns the interest in these companies, who actually tabulate our ballots. Well, somebody behind me said, it's China. And then you saw Jack Posobiec go nuts this weekend, right? And with the whole China this, we need to take down the CCP. And we hear this rhetoric. And for me, I just get flashbacks of Iraq, and I get scared of getting duped into Iraq. And now it seems like officially that China has become to the GOP what Russia is to the DNC. Their boogeyman. No accountability for our actions. And I'm not going to be goaded into a war with China. And somebody from the Libertarian Party for their Twitter put down, he goes, it's terrible what China is doing with their lockdowns, using the COVID to get in thrust authoritarian measures. Meanwhile, in the United States, we don't have any of that, or something being very sarcastic,
Yeah.
And it was like, and everybody's like, what, are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? But I'm just curious about what your thoughts are about right now and we know some of these people are our friends, who are really blaming China and acting like China's actually pulling the strings.
Well, I just saw for the first time, I think in 15 or 20 years, maybe even 10 years, we're opening up a base that we had previously closed down off, near China. So that, to what your point, it seems like there is a large faction, especially of our military and government, that want to engage in something hot with China, and all the rhetoric and all the media and the news pushes us towards that too. We don't have to like what China does, and I don't agree with those policies, but I think the sarcasm, like you pointed out, is kind of like, well, there were people here in America who did want to have the same kind of response to the flu world order that China has had, and there's people in China who've had enough of it, and they're protesting, and I love to see that. I love to see organic groundswell, grassroots movements prop up all around the world, wherever there's a government that's not behaving the way the people of that country want. That doesn't mean that we go over there with the barrel of a gun or through sanctions or what other means and tell them how to run their lives and what to do. So I'm with you, man. I think the China posturing is totally the Republican neocon response to how the DNC and neo-libs have been talking about Russia for the last 6 years.
Yeah, they're breathing life back into the dead horse of Red Dawn and Red Scare. And also on the same token, you guys probably would have this in the back of your mind too. Our intelligence agencies and the people who fuck around all over the world, they won't pass up an opportunity to exploit this. What's happening now, whether it's completely a natural pushback against the government in China, or it's an amalgamation of pushback, but then also foreign entities. We can't all sit here and say there are not foreign entities over there. I wouldn't maybe manipulating the situation. They're definitely taking advantage of it for their own ends.
The Hong Kong Human Decency Act was littered with, and this is, Hong Kong littered from the NED advisory committee on that fucking bill. So we know that the NED has got their teeth sunk into Taiwan, Hong Kong. Yeah. We know that we have the receipts. I mean, so sorry to interrupt.
And no, that's a good point, man. And that's kind of what my gut tells me. Because anything that we see spring up around the world like this, whether it was the Arab Spring protests, the Hong Kong stuff, anywhere, Iran, horrible shit. This is not denying the horrible shit that happens in these countries. But when you've been a student of intelligence agencies and the national security state and our foreign policy, and the groups that exploit the suffering of other countries to meet our ends and our business interests, our corporate interests, the profiteering, that's in the mix. That's definitely in the mix. But yeah, Jack Posobiec and all those guys and the Bannons of the world, they're the dumbest China hawks, man. The saber rattling they have about China and how they're the big enemy, and we basically got to go to war with them and put a stop to them, and they're buying up all this land. It's the fear mongering. It is absolutely Iraq war levels pasta for sure, and I'm not buying it. And someone who I've met him in person. I hung out with him with Ron Paul is Dave DeCamp. He's done incredible work on this stuff with antiwar.com. Him and Patrick McFarlane both. So I read a lot of what they write about this because those are guys that I trust on this issue. So anyone who prescribes to Jack Posobiec and like Mike Cernovich and those China hawk, basically Robbie Martin has all their number. He does a lot of great work exposing who all those people are and the kind of think tanks that influence their thinking and what they do and the stuff they put out. Give Dave DeCamp a look and Patrick McFarlane and Scott Horton and antiwar.com.
Yeah, they do great work.
In my opinion, those are the people we should be listening to and read everything, look at everything that you can. But let's not fall for it. Certainly the three of us are not going to fall for it.
We had Cynthia Chung on today, as Matt Arrett's wife, and wrote an amazing book, just came out and stuff, and their perspective on what's going on in China. And they got they really understand what's going on. And once again, listen, you want to have an opinion, but these Republicans, they're starting to move into a position. I don't want to say all Republicans, but these particular, the American First ones, the ones that are on TV, the ones that have big followings like the Jacks and Steve, they're starting to move into shit lib territory where they have to pull off these mental gymnastics and then also stay in their own echo chamber. Like I said, I've been trying to get on Tucker right now. I've been trying to get on Bannon, and and these are all the same people that to defeat the mandates. All those doctors. I spoke at these events. I think I'm pretty qualified to talk about elections. I mean, damn, I don't know anybody who's attended all these elections like the Convo Couch has and does that, and can give a good perspective. But now they're going to a point where they're staying in their own echo chamber and they're ignoring people and other advices, and they're going to have to do so much mental gymnastics just to try to bullshit their propagated position because they don't have the receipts. They have speculation, and more speculation.
Yeah, it's anybody left or right who's trying to push us towards more conflict and more war, I'm always suspicious of. And we agree with IB Denmark, end all war, and that includes trying to stop wars from happening, ahead of time. Like we've heard the script so many times from all these people and all these think tanks that you would think by now most people would be highly skeptical. And another writer I really respect, who probably would call herself a socialist or a real leftist or progressive, is Caitlin Johnstone. I mean, she's done some amazing work on this, and I would recommend anyone check out her stuff. She has no paywalls for any of her work, and you can support her and stuff, but she really delivers it in a way that's kind of cuts through all the noise. And it's a bummer that people, because of their political stripe or identity, that they have to stick with a certain belief on these big issues that goes along with their tribe or with their side. And that's why I've really, I haven't really belonged to a political party for so many years. Kind of, you're like you, Pasta, you're kind of homeless right now with a party. Because on the big stuff that really matters, people will overlook that in order to stay in their echo chambers or curry favor with if their side's winning at that time or in power. And it's too bad. So that kind of the arrogance and hubris is going to get America in trouble and further down the hole, I think.
Do you guys mind? I know I got to get out of here soon. Yeah. But would you guys mind? Our private chat here, I shared my tweet. Something I hope you guys would be interested in. Take a look at it. A couple weeks ago, we did our first kind of libertarian, anti-imperialist left panel, right? Of finding out if there's this compromise. And this is my words. This is nobody else's words. I call it the Great Compromise. I'm trying to make it a little kind of snappy and catchy. But is there a compromise for libertarians? These Ron Paul style libertarians that we're seeing coming out of the Mises Caucus, like the Dave Smiths, Scott Hortons, and whatnot. So we're going to bring it back again. We're going to run it back. So next Tuesday on the Convo Couch at 12:30, Clint Russell from Liberty Lockdown, Dave Smith, and Jimmy Dore and I will go to the second round of this to see if there's any type of compromise that we can talk about. And I'm telling you, I'm really excited about this right now after experiencing this whole weekend of this China shit where people were just playing video after video, meme after meme. Look what China's doing to their own people. We have to take down the CCP. Oh, China's stealing the election in Brazil, There's a lady in Maricopa who went to speak up, at the city council, and she was mentioning some decent stuff, but then she immediately went to South America. We're losing all of Latin America to these machines. Like, it's like they're looking for this blame the communist again, communism underneath the table. He's going to come out and get us all if we don't, So now they're telling these bullshit lies and stuff, and we really need a third party out there, a third party that's got ballot access, a third party that can speak up for anti-war.
Hell yeah!
That's my question.
I love that first episode. Sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
No, I'm all about this, Pasta, and thanks for bringing this to my attention. I didn't even know this was happening. I'll absolutely promote it and tell all of my friends. But so, what would a compromise look like? Because really, ballot access, the Libertarians are it. All 50 states, pretty much every 4 years. Most media attention for a third-party candidate. So are you thinking a Jimmy Dore faction of people would come over and agree to vote Libertarian in 24, or we would fundraise together? I mean, or you just want to spitball ideas?
Spitball ideas. I know that for the first time ever, I did vote for my first conservative ever. That was Jim Marchant, and I voted for him because he is an election reformist, not because he was a MAGA guy, not just go against the grain. It's that he gave us brass tacks. He gave us exactly certain reforms that I think were necessary as a Secretary of State. Other than that, I voted Libertarian down the ballot, You know what I'm saying, for the first time ever. And I'm not saying that I'm going to just go vote for any Libertarian, but I think we need more voices out there. We need some anti-imperialist voices out there. And that's the anti-imperialist left we came from. This was the Tulsi wing where we were all out there, where we looked at elections, we looked at civil liberties, we looked at foreign policy on a higher standard than the Bernie Sanders progressives, who were caught up in the culture wars and looking at more domestic stuff, didn't have any knowledge or nuance when it came to foreign policy. So we're just spitballing ideas over here, right?
Okay.
Is this a compromise? Can we get a compromise? Can we get some populist candidates to get out there? Can we get on the debate stage? I might not agree with the economics of libertarians, and that's what Jimmy does, and I'm assuming when it comes to Medicare for all. I don't like the ideological handcuffs that libertarians have where they'll say we're going to remove the worst entity, which is the government, and all the hazards and all the red tape. But we want to see some form of being proactive. You know what I'm saying? We want to see some creation of a new healthcare that the government doesn't just tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? There's questions here. I don't know. I don't see it yet.
Well, certainly, I think this is a great idea, and we need more of this to happen. I just had Sabrina Salvini on my show from Boston.
Nice.
She's awesome, dude. And I had her on the show very much in that spirit. And then I want to talk to someone who I don't agree with 100%, and we have some things in common and some things that we don't have in common. But I think this is great, and I think big picture, foreign policy, drug war, really highlight the stuff that we agree on, and we can hash out the stuff we disagree on for the sake of having a formidable third voice.
Absolutely. Guys, I got to get out of here. Thank you so much, Jackman Brothers. I hope you guys will return to our morning show soon, or the Convo Couch. I want to see the wigs.
Absolutely. And tell Metzger, I'm ready to shave this if he wants Alex Jones. If he really wants it, Pasta, I'll bring it to him. I'll wear the wig. I'll wear other stuff on my OnlyFans, Infowars.com, SafeInfowars/Cindy Hook. I'll do that. If they want it, if you want it, Pasta. If your fans want it.
He's on tour for a little bit. When he comes back, we'll get on his ass. So
and Pasta, can you Kim Iverson, man, she was going to come on my show, and I haven't heard back from her. So if you talk to her at all, tell Kim.
And we'll try and get you on Tucker.
Pasta's like Santa Claus to us. We have all these wishes for Santa. But yeah.
Well, listen, I love when my friends work together, and I love when I see my friends on other shows. And absolutely, I love you guys. And
YouTube,
love you too, Pasta.
Get your asses out to Vegas. Get in the van, and get out to Vegas, brother.
All right, we'll be in touch. That's Pasta Jardula, everybody, from the Convo Couch.
Love you guys. And AM Wake Up.
And AM Wake Up with Steve
tomorrow.
Quakin.
We're going to have Vanessa Bealey on the show in the morning. We are also going to have Jeremy Kumarov talk about what's going on with the Oath Keepers and these infiltrated feds that are all in these groups Psyops here, psyops there.
They're glowing. I'm glowing. Oh my God, I'm not just pregnant. I'm glowing. I'm glowing.
They're turning the frogs gay and the universe gay. I'm out of here.
All right. See you, Pasta. Pasta Jardula, everybody, man.
Oh, that's
Your
great.
guy's freaking hilarious, man. He's a good man, and I think he shares our ethos and that he likes to talk to people who have influence that he maybe doesn't agree with totally, or even on a bunch of stuff. But man, you can find common ground with people. The powers that be in the media want us to think if we don't agree on one or two issues, then we can't even talk to each other. Therefore, we don't agree on other stuff. And I think that's BS.
Yeah.
I know it's BS.
No, I'm with you, man. This is a great panel, man. Jimmy Dore, Dave Smith, Pasta, and Clint from Liberty Lockdown.
Yeah.
These are all, we've had Pasta on. We did Four Horsemen with Dave Smith, and then we did Four Horsemen with Clint, and he's been on Jackman Radio. And
yeah, man.
Four Horsemen
all
did
awesome
his
guys.
show. Yeah, these are all great guys, and there's a lot of fusion there. So, yeah, that's interesting. It's an interesting thing. So to me, that would maybe they're looking here to steer the People's Party. Have you heard of that? That's the party that Jimmy Dore is like a big part of. And
yeah, I mean, I've seen Jimmy Dore and Dave Smith, appear together on a few different podcasts, and they get along, and I think they respect each other, and they're at least buddies on some level. So,
yeah,
Jimmy said, "Oh, I'm not going to get Dave to budge on healthcare," and there's going to be big disagreements. But I mean, I think they're two genuine people, and they care about this country, they care about people, and they're not just in it for money. And God, you'd have a couple comedians who would be better, more knowledgeable, and even more entertaining than any of the clowns we got up there now. Really.
Well,
I mean,
Trump could compete on entertainment wise.
Yeah, but man, I don't know, man. I really think this dinner with Andre thing at Mar-a-Lago kind of, boy, that didn't do him any favors, man. That was.
I don't know a lot
was
about
that a
Nick
Milo
Fuentes.
false flag?
I've never heard of Nick Fuentes. I don't know him. He could come in here right now being walked on a collar with a bunch of incels coming from Catholic Church, and I wouldn't know who he is.
He could come in here right now being pegged by Lenny Riefenstahl, and I would not recognize him. Okay, I would have no idea. He'd be doing a Triumph of the Will March, and we'd have no idea who he is.
Oh.
Yeah, we got Fletcher Lens here.
He's a real ghoul.
Hashtag free Assange. Yes.
And that's I was saying this to you, Mike. Like, I don't understand what's going on here because Milo is like an ardent Zionist. He always has been. He's always gone to bat for Israel. Anytime you've tried to humanize the Palestinians or say anything about Palestine, that dude will bite your head off.
Really?
So
That's been his posture?
Oh, for years, man. Oh, there's so many receipts on Twitter about basically he was calling for nuking Palestine or blowing them off the map or getting rid of them and saying Israel needs to colonize whatever's left of Palestine and take it over. They're just a roadblock. So I don't understand what Milo is doing with Nick Fuentes and now Ye, and then going to Mar-a-Lago, which is why I'm so fucking pissed about the Tim Pool thing. Because if I was there, I just would have fucking given those guys the floor and said, I want a fly on the wall review of what happened at that dinner and what was said.
Well, I thought I was Malcolm K, but it turns out I'm more Martin Luther King. I mean, dude, dude, he's
his level.
He's going through something. Yeah, he's going through something.
I thought I was Malcolm X, but I'm actually Martin Luther King.
Oh, okay. What did I say? Malcolm King? Did I?
You said Malcolm K. Yeah,
Malcolm K. Sorry, guys. I'm tired. I added a 25th hour to InfoWars, so I'm going through something.
I don't know. I just can't understand it. And then also Trump, the people around Trump, like would not do any kind of gatekeeping or like do anything to prevent this from happening. You know what I mean?
Well, a couple of things that I read on it, and there's conflicting reports about it. There's some quotes attributed to Milo. There's actual quotes from Yi when he came out. He was talking about how the king was yelling at him and saying, "You're not going to win." And, Yi offered him the running mate slot. Dude, could you imagine being at that table? Like seeing that? Like, and apparently
comes in here. Oh, go ahead.
Milo convinced a Trump aide, a former friend of his or someone that he knew from years back to drive them to Mar-a-Lago and let them go. And he said, well, I'm bringing a couple of people for dinner. And he said, well, who are you bringing? And he's like, well, one of them's name is Nick. And it's like, oh, what's his last name? And it's like Fuentes. And he's like, oh, God. So one of them realized who it was. I don't think the king knew who he was. I mean, the king can't keep track. I don't even think he remembers like Baron and Tiffany's names. Tiffany might. Oh, that's right, my other daughter. That's right, she got married. Wasn't that great? That was tremendous. Well, I don't know her husband's name, but he seems like a good guy.
Oh man.
So I think the king, like you're saying about the gatekeepers, man, he's just got, people around him who are, but another thing I think Milo said, and Fuentes was saying, like, we wanted to talk to you about, your real followers who feel like you've turned your back on them and bring these issues up to you. So it's look, we're gonna have the SS uniforms. We're gonna get them laundered, okay? We're gonna make sure they're laundered on time. They're gonna look a lot better next time around, okay? But yeah, I mean, the media is really chewing on the whole thing too, man. It's almost like the whole thing is a psyop against the king.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to wrap your head around that dude could waltz in there into Mar-a-Lago like that and get an audience with Trump. And then also, Trump gave Israel everything they wanted.
Right.
He was right by Bibi's side until the election when Bibi called Biden and congratulated him, and that's when fucking. I know he talked about it for a book subsequently, but he was like, I couldn't believe that he called him and congratulated him when the thing was stolen. Okay, everyone knows it was rigged. And I gave Bibi everything, full swallow blowjobs. We moved the embassy. All right, gallons and gallons of Palestinian children's blood. It was unbelievable. Okay, but he still did that. I did everything that Daddy Sheldon Adelson wanted. Okay, everything. So I don't know, man. You can argue Trump has like been one of the most Zionist presidents we've ever had, or at least adjacent or pro-Israel.
Well, Miriam, Sheldon's beloved widow, has said she's not going to give any money this time around. She's going to wait. So the Cruz was there groveling to anybody. So she might be waiting for the emergence of Gitmo DeSantis to kind of rise up and bring some laxatives to, some. Ensure. Oh yeah. God. Oh yeah. Did you watch if anybody wants to get a real kind of behind the scenes on DeSantis and what he was doing at Guantanamo Bay, Media Roots and Mike Preisner and Empire Files. It's under Empire Files, this one, right?
Yeah, let me double check.
So Mike Preisner, along with his partner Abby Martin, they produced a whole thing about DeSantis' time as a lawyer or legal counsel at Guantanamo, and he was supposedly the guy who's telling the detainees that I'm there to make sure you guys are comfortable and treated well. And according to some reports and interviews from some of the detainees who were let go and ultimately not charged with anything, not given a trial, DeSantis was there when they were during some of the worst times and the worst hunger strikes that was going on at Guantanamo, which Barack Obama, of course, closed in January of 2009. Oh, shit, that's right. He didn't. Hope it change. Hope it change. But, yeah, that's really ghoulish, man. If any of that stuff is true, which I have no reason to believe it's not true, DeSantis is he's the right guy for the job. He's basically a new neocon, Eric, isn't he?
Well, he was a George W. Bush lackey acolyte for JAG. I always fucking forget what JAG stands for. Let me. We're a Judge Advocate General, right? So the JAG is he was in the Navy and he was down there playing, wearing the nice white uniform with the hat.
Yeah, I remember the show with that dude there who looked like a butt. I forget his name. He was in the show.
Square-jawed butt face. Yeah.
Kyle, Gitmo DeSanctimonious. Yeah. Kyle Beethoven, what a great guy. Yeah. And can we congratulate Kyle on the recent wedding? It was a beautiful wedding and double ring ceremony with Melania. Very nice stuff.
Well, you want to pull up William Wallace's comment there about Syria in the chat. Escalating the Syrian wars is what Israel wanted most, and Trump tried to end it. Yeah, to Trump's credit, he did not. I mean, he did bomb Syria, and when he did that, and when he bombed Soleimani was when I was like, oh, fuck, here we go, But he did. His inclinations, Mike, told him to scale down and get the hell out of Syria.
Well, I was reading my daily Mahatma Gandhi, and I just wanted to be a dove. I just wanted to wake up and have a simple robe, maybe a bowl for my rice, and just be a dove. And so they said, sir, we're going to do it. We're going to pull the trigger. And I said, how many are going to die? And they said, sir, probably about 120. And I said, no, we're not going to do it. So, I mean, I think a lot of that's probably BS to try and paint himself as the modern day Smedley Butler. But no, I mean, he's less of a warmonger than Obama and Biden and Bush, and which is kind of crazy when you think about it. You know, if you're putting that as your baseline. So
Yeah.
I don't know though, man. They're really, I think, you know, this time you're seeing more of a concerted effort to really go against him with the uniparty, you know, that are going to be up against him full time, as well as the media.
Yeah, I know
But
we haven't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
he still has so much support though with a lot of the American people, you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't think we've really streamed even since the King.
No, since he announced, hey Poopsie, we
What's
got
bigger?
Hartford Whalers 97. What is it, Eric?
What's bigger, Trump's donk or Obama's drones? Excuse me, nothing's bigger than Trump Tower Jr. Okay, and Melania knows if she besmirches it legally, I can sue her $1 billion for every inch. That'd be a $2.5 billion lawsuit. Okay,
And we know that Hillary Clinton got schlonged, and she got schlonged really bad by Barack Hussein Obama, like really bad.
Yeah, he's like she got schlonged.
And we thank Poopsie tonight for the beverage. Thank you for your support, Poopsie, and your help.
Yeah, H6.
Yeah, H6. William Wallace says the baseline sucks. Well, yeah, it does. That's why I laugh, because it's really pathetic when you think about it. Like if it's you know, if it was because of my golf game with President Trump, where I said, you know, President Trump, maybe we shouldn't blow up and destroy Iran. You know, they're a sovereign country that we shouldn't be at war with. Oh, nice shot. Like that literally could be one of the conversations. It was Rand Paul and Trump on the golf course, and Rand was you know, Rand let him cheat. He did. He let me cheat. Okay, I beat him. He was actually technically probably a better golfer than me. So was that 13-year-old kid that I cheated against. But they let me win. They do, and they let me have my McDonald's. So flattery definitely works with the king, Eric. And even when you're talking about potentially destroying a country.
Yeah, trying to get him not to destroy a country. But yeah, I mean, we're the saying we're so far in our own end zone, and the baseline is so bad. That applies there, and really all we can do is honk. So that's why I'd be interested.
Yeah, I was going to say, so right now, like, you know, obviously it's still early, but I don't know if this was going to be your next point, but you're still thinking you're going to stick with Tulsi if she decides to run as a Republican?
Oh, I mean, she'll instantly, if she is in that primary as a Republican, she'll instantly be the best one out of all of them. I made the point, if it's Pence, Haley, fucking Christie, DeSanctimonious,
Pompeo.
Yeah, fucking Pompeo.
Cruz. Yeah.
Cruz. You know, Cotton, he did the smart thing and bowed out, decided not to do it. And Trump, she'll automatically be the best on foreign policy, you know, in a major party who's going to have coverage and have a platform. And then, yeah, on the Democratic side, I couldn't see myself supporting anybody running.
Well, you wouldn't support Gavin Newsom or Buttigieg? Or Kamala? You wouldn't support Kamala?
I don't think so, man.
Shame on you.
So. But no, the point I was going to make is that's why I'm glad Pasta shared that thing with us where he's going to get together with Clint and Dave and Jimmy and, you know, try and talk about something, an alternative to the uniparty. And it's every 4 years, man. And I got big on, you know, moving away from the two parties, 07, 08. And that's the first time I voted for a third party, you know, in a national election. And it's just the same disappointment every 4 years. You're psyched if they get a little bit of media coverage, if they're included in one major poll. It never quite gets to that 15% that the Uniparty Commission on Presidential Debates puts up as their stupid threshold. So they're always iced out. But, you know, I think that should be one of the goals. And I'll talk to Pasta about this, and, you know, I'll speak about it and advocate for it. Trying to force inclusion in the debates decide which party to rally around. I think it makes the most sense for the Libertarians because of the ballot access, because of their ability to get press. You know, just they're the third largest party in America. The Green Party is a joke. They can't get their act together. They couldn't even get fucking Ventura to run for them. And then, you know, the People's Party that Jimmy has, I don't know how much that exists off Twitter. You know what I mean?
Right.
No slight to anybody who's out actually doing stuff for them. I don't know enough about them, but the point I'm making is it would make the most sense to rally around the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, if you get everybody to, you know, to get on board with that. And the thing is, though, even if it hit the 15%, they would, you know, not include those polls or something. They'd say, oh, that poll is too late, or it doesn't matter, it's out of the margin of error. And even if they
find a way to rat fuck, is what you're
exactly
saying.
Yeah, because after the 92 debates, dude, when Ross Perot got in there, they were like, oh shit, like, dude, they saw him up there with Bubba Clinton and Poppy Bush, and he reached 20% in that election, and basically he was like, you know, a lot of people think he helped Clinton win the election. So it just goes to show you, man, that when the people are actually given multiple choices and candidates who can actually compete on ideas and experience and knowledge get up there and those are presented. I mean, like we always go back to it, but like Jesse Ventura in Minnesota when he ran in '98 for governor, and he only raised $300,000, and he beat was it Norm Coleman and Humphrey, who was political dynasty in Minnesota, and they raised millions of dollars. And Ventura, obviously, he had name recognition, but he had the panache, dude. He crushed them in the debates. You know, he went out there to the people. It's they don't want campaigns like that, man. They don't want like positive people-powered campaigns, you know. And the E thing, man, that's a joke, dude. He's not a serious contender.
No, he's not. He's there asking Tim Pool, how should I be president? And he's like, ballot harvesting. That's fucking clown world, dude.
Yeah. I mean, he's popular. People do like him, and he does speak out about, you know, certain issues. But if he couldn't sit down for an hour and a half and talk to those guys and have a conversation,
that's what I'm saying.
How does he think the other media is going to treat him?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, to Trump's credit, when he's getting badgered, he stays there and fucking hits back 10 times harder with his hammer.
It's
so good. I think that you are a nasty person with a failing organization. Sit down.
Well, I just had one more question, President Trump.
Okay, you're next.
Stop. If I could just
You're out. You're out of here. Take his coat, throw him out, execute him, cut his head off. But no, you're right, dude. Yeah, you want to run for. I mean, it's just a scam. You got Milo circling the wagons, Fuentes. It's a scam. It's a grift.
Yeah,
it's a fucking grift. Let's call it for what it is. It's a grift. You know, and I think Kanye is a little out of his depth and over his head with a lot of that stuff. And
yeah, I mean, he was. Chappelle said he was a billionaire, but now I don't know. He after a couple of days, not so much. They tried to throw me in jail. They wanted to arrest me. They wanted to put me in jail, dude. When he came back, and that's why I put it as the thumbnail for tonight of him and the King when he was King Regent elect in late 2016, and it was probably the trainer he had or someone. They recommended the drugs, they committed him, and then he came back, dude. His MK Ultra wiring, he was like. And he, you know, his hair was freshly dusted. He looked like
Demolition Man.
He looked like Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man. And the king was there next to him at the elevators. And they're like, "What did you guys talk about?" You know, and Trump's just like, "We talked about life." And that was the first installment. So that was A New Hope. The 2018 White House was Empire Strikes Back, and then the dinner with Fuentes and Milo's Return of the Jedi. That's the trilogy. That's the trilogy, dude, of the Trump Kanye saga. And you know they'll have a prequel. It's going to be People Under the Stairs.
Oh, it's just weird, man. It is. It's psyops. It's psyoping. And dude, Kyrie Irving's Hebrew Israelite gang that he had outside the Brooklyn arena there in New York City, Mike. Can we talk about that for a minute?
Who was the commentator? The other dude who was like, "Where are his people? Like, where are they?" And then, dude, they cut to the clip of
like 1,000 of these dudes marching in formation. Like, actually, yeah. Can you call it up?
Yeah, you talk about it, and I'll
well, yeah, it was. I don't know how many. It looked like 1,000 dudes marching like in perfect symmetry. Very, very disciplined, Mike. Very orderly, but also kind of intimidating. Like there was a real
totally scary and intimidating. Yeah.
Like, not. I don't think one. I could be wrong about this. I don't think one like major news outlet picked this up.
No.
Now, if you had like 10 Proud Boys marching like this,
yeah,
every fucking media outlet would pick it up and call it a riot, and it's January 6th all over again. And
God,
I don't know, man. It's like the Matrix. The Matrix is fucking cracking, dude. When you see something like this,
yeah, dude, just get a load of this, dude.
Yeah. So good,
dude. Look how they're all dressed too, and they're in uniform. How they're all kind of marching, you know, kind of too. It's like V for Vendetta, dude. Meets friggin'
it's
all
like
the
Dark
Agent
Knight
Smiths.
Rises, dude. When they're riding in the street, waiting for Batman to come out.
Dude, this yeah, it's Bane's Army. This literally happened in New York City, Eric, and the New York Times. None of the media covered it, man. And they're like, yeah, what are you going to do now? 1,200.
Can you get audio on this? Get audio.
Organized.
Get audio.
Your your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your brother, your sister was there when you left. That's the reason you.
You had the very hate group that the white media accused Kyrie Irving of promoting right outside.
That's from Mother of All. Hold on. MOT. Yeah, that's someone else's podcast. But I mean, look at the footage. Let me see if I can. There's one too where they're like really kind of. Yeah, hold on. I just need the viewers just to understand here. Okay, so this guy, this doofus, was. There's the army that's behind him. A few days later.
Yeah, get the volume.
Dude.
Talk about ask and ye shall receive.
So there you go, man. That's the that's I mean, there was probably at least 1,000 of them strong, dude. So that's the Hebrew Israelites, Eric. And was it you or someone, one of our friends or relatives who's run into them down in the city, was telling us that they were kind of scary to deal with? But I'm not sure what they were chanting, but I know they're a controversial group, and a lot of people, will call them a hate group or whatever. But that happened. I mean, that was a real. William Wallace said, "Who are these guys?" I missed the setup. Yeah, I think they're the Hebrew Israelites.
I put the article there in our chat, Mike. Click that link and share screen it. That'll have some good stuff you can read about it.
This is from the Jewish Journal.
Yeah, the Jewish Journal. Okay. Black Hebrew Israelites chant, "We are the real Jews," in support of Kyrie Irving.
Okay, so that's what they were chanting?
Yeah, some of it.
Okay, let's take a look at this. I'm going to get a lot better at sharing the screen here.
Yeah, this is a game changer. We've never done this on one of our streams. I just never thought to do it.
We're not the most tech-savvy guys, so we appreciate any help and assistance. So this is from jewishjournal.com. Black Hebrew Israelites chant, "We are the real Jews," in support of Kyrie Irving. I mean, that's like, yeah, Black Hebrew Israelites. So they marched all the way. What we were just looking at there was their march to the Barclays Center. And they're part of this, they call a fringe group the Israel United in Christ, which is an affiliate of the Black Hebrew Israelites, according to ESPN. And this had to do with Kyrie's suspension. And then even before that, Kyrie got in trouble because he refused to get the book.
Yeah, he was based on the
jab.
It's not a vaccine. It's a what do you call it? Can't even think of what the
like protein.
Yeah, whatever it is, whatever the fuck that thing was. But boy, what a thing that was to see, man. I mean, I don't know. So the reason I saw that is because Cynthia McKinney, she shared it on her Facebook, and I'm like, what in the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's kind of like an alarming thing to see, dude. It's like, dude, what is going on in our country right now, man? I just feel like so much of it's like distraction and wanting to get everybody to fight with each other over a lot of bullshit while they continue to steal the wealth out of our pockets.
Well, I think that if people want really scary videos, they should go fucking record the prices at grocery stores and how much shit food costs and the price of how much everything is. And Ron Paul's like, in the inflation and the warmongering and
what I don't want to see, and I certainly maybe Dr. Levine is or is not in favor of this, is what's going on with Balenciaga. I know you wanted to talk about Balenciaga. It's all in the news. Kim Kardashian shares seem to have plummeted since the scandal started. So apparently they were, doing an ad campaign, and the photographer is pointing the fingers at the company, and other people are pointing fingers at each other. But bottom line is they had kids in these advertisements with incredibly inappropriate props and teddy bears dressed up in like BDSM clothing. And
Right.
this is what they're marketing to young people. So these people are all fucking sick. I mean, let's just put that out there.
As Mel Gibson says, you need a fucking bat to the head.
Yeah, you need a brain transplant.
You need a brain transplant. You need a fucking bat to the head.
613 says new cults always crop up. It's not new. Look at the Mormons. And
yeah, I mean, I've heard of those.
It's a small but loud subset, basically.
Yeah, that they're based. I mean, I'm sure they like Brother Farrakhan, or they're adjacent to him. I don't really know, Mike. I mean, wasn't there a time where Michael Jackson was fucking around with Farrakhan and the Muslim Brotherhood? Or no, Nation of Islam.
Oh, Nation of Islam. Yeah. How about the almost like the true crime style interview that Alex Jones did with Farrakhan? Like the way the drone comes in down the street and the way it's like an LA crime caper.
It was like an LA crime drama. Yeah.
William Wallace says, hopefully those guys just want to end the Fed. Yeah. Can we get those guys and people from every group and club just going down the street chanting end the Fed? I mean, I feel like there was a time with the Ron Paul movement, a little bit of the Tea Party movement, which kind of brought Rand Paul into the fold, Occupy Wall Street, the anti-lockdown people. There's a lot of synergy and crossover, but they just want to keep everybody divided. They don't want people all marching together to end the Fed. That's for damn sure. 613. Muslim Brotherhood is Egypt. I mean, what Eric said. Yeah. The Muslim Brotherhood, they were connected to the BCCI scandal too in the 80s, the Bank of Credit and Commerce International, which was involved with a lot of U.S. politicians in the Iran-Contra scandal and a lot of that grifting. I mean, people don't think that there, are certain people in Congress or leaders or corporate interests here in America are going to be tied in with what could be perceived as radical Islamic or certain Arabic groups. But dude, it happens all the time, man. They don't care about ideology as long as there's money and power. That's really, I mean, look at the Saudis and their relationship with Trump and all the golfer stuff and, Trump's golf courses and even beyond that, just the arms deals and everything that's going on. Kushner did the big deal. So it's all window dressing at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's all the grift. It's a psyop. It's just keeping the masses confused and distracted and divided and upset. I don't know. Yeah, there's so much going on. But I don't even know if I have the pronunciation right. Balenciaga. I'd never even heard of that company until all this shit blew up. And it's just not a surprise to me. When you're talking about just junk, consumerist like junk, made for pennies on the dollar and then sold for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's gross.
Like, fuck you. I'm pretty detached from things and consumerism and shopping and clothing and all that bullshit. But this just shows you that a lot of the people in this world are disgusting and they're horrible people.
Yeah, they're not concerned about children. And I mean, wasn't Celine Dion involved in some really gross ad campaign a couple years ago with it was like adrenochrome harvesting at night with Freddy Krueger or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was real sick stuff. They had Hunter S. Thompson there with Benicio del Toro doing adrenochrome in a hotel room and leaving Las Vegas, or whatever the Vegas Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, she was. Let me see. I'll pull up an image of that. Celine Dion's.
It was satanic. I mean, we know that, obviously. But yesterday was 21 years that George Harrison passed. So you were talking about, the material world, and obviously George was a millionaire rock star, but he seemed to be the one Beatle other than John Lennon who was not afraid to really talk about the myth of the Beatles and talk about how stupid a lot of it was with the girls screaming and the parts of it that he thought were stupid and fake and vapid and kind of like plastic. He was like, oh, the Beatles, that was a shirt that I wore. Now I'm a gardener.
He's like, yeah, that was a suit that I had, and I took it off and put it in the closet.
Yeah, I mean, he made there were comps. George Harrison made comps for sure.
Well, his last album said everything, man. It's called Brainwashed. And also when he did the anniversary reissue of All Things Must Pass, the art that he did spoke everything. He put freeways and concrete over the image of him out with the yard gnomes in the yard.
Oh yeah, everything was all paved.
That's a commentary on how our world is just being commodified and commercialized, and they pave over everything, and there's a dollar sign attached to everything. And,
Yeah. So I mean, you know,
he's
a lot
right on
of
the money.
George's solo stuff is really phenomenal too, man. I mean, I think it's been argued, and there's a case to be made that All Things Must Pass is the greatest solo Beatles album. I don't know. What do you think?
I would, yeah. I mean, I'm biased. He's my favorite, but I'll put it up against any Beatles solo album, just simply because it's like an explosion of songs, man, that he had saved up, that Paul and John shook the stick at, you know, and didn't really give him the space to get him out there. So, yeah, it's my favorite Beatles solo album. Well, Cloud 9 is probably my favorite Beatles solo album. Cloud 9's a masterpiece.
Yeah, another George Harrison one that I think it was the last studio album that he released in his lifetime.
Yep, because Brainwashed.
87.
Yep, and he was already working on some songs that were on Brainwashed on Cloud 9. So, yeah, it's hard to believe that Harrison's been gone 21 years. But
yeah,
you know,
Devil's Radio.
Yeah.
The lyrics to Devil's Radio are great.
Yeah, he definitely made an impact. But
he made a
big impact. Yeah, I don't know. He's just Kanye, Mike. He's shaking the Matrix up a little bit.
God, now you kind of were digging into his personal trainer a little bit. What was some of the information on that guy and some of the questions?
Harley
Pasternak.
Yeah, he's a Canadian dude, or he worked in Canada, and he was part of their defense, like basically behavior manipulation and psychology and psi warfare in Canada within their defense department up there. And he worked on studies that were connected with drugs that altered people's moods, that were stimulants that would shut your brain down, put you up. And, you know, Kanye leaked those text messages from him, basically threatening him, you know, put a lid on it, dude, or we're going to fucking... You thought that we doped you up last time we had you committed, man. Wait till you see what we'll do this time. And then your play dates with your kids are going to be a lot different than what you're used to. What, you know, why would your, you know, trainer, your personal trainer, I have a trainer, you know, and if I had children, imagine my trainer being like, oh, Eric, you know, watch what you say, because we're going to get you committed. And now I know, granted, Kanye is a millionaire, you know, global phenomenon and a rapper, you know, and I'm a nobody, but, it doesn't add up. And then, you know, you dig into who Harley Pasternak trained, and Brittany Murphy's on that list, and some other celebrities. So, I mean, if you've dug into this shit, they have handlers.
Yeah, people at that level. We got a question. Good to see you here, Mornon. What do you guys think of Ringo's Boku of Blues? So that's Ringo's second solo studio album, and I actually don't know that one as well. I think it's more of a bluesy, like trying to go back to basics type album. It's got the title track on it, and I think and a couple others, but I don't think they were like huge. It wasn't like It Don't Come Easy or
yeah, it looks like it came out in 1970, and the songs that are on it, I don't.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't really done a deep dive on that one, so I'm gonna have to check that out and get back to you, Mornon, about that. But as far as Ringo's solo stuff, man, he does have some great. I mean, Photograph, the song that he wrote with George Harrison, is one of my favorite solo Beatles songs, and we saw Ringo perform 3 times, and he's great, man. I mean, even his tunes with the Beatles, like they did a cover of Act Naturally, and Ringo gets behind the kit and, you know, plays the drums while singing that one. And I saw him perform Don't Pass Me By, which was off the White Album, I think. And he plays organ on that one. So that was cool to see Ringo live play like piano and organ and then hop on the drums for that one. And then he did a tribute for George speaking of George Harrison, after he died. He has a really great song with Eric Clapton off of his 2003 Ringo Rama album called Never Without You, which I highly recommend. It's a very beautiful Beatle-esque tune. So, yeah, thanks for that question. IB Denmark giving lots of love tonight. Eric, you are a king. It's nice.
In my own mind, I'm the king of Manhattan, king of the world.
Of Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
All the boys, though. We will. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. Thank you for that. As big as Beatles fan as I am, I still don't know everything. We're always willing to learn. The mark of somebody who's on a intellectual and educational journey admits that he doesn't know everything, and he's willing to learn.
The one thing I do know is that I know nothing.
Yeah.
So he gets kind of philosophical hooey on you.
William Wallace marketing idea: adrenochrome ketchup. Wow, I like that. I think Nancy Pelosi's got stock in that one. She made $100 million off that.
Oh.
Adrenochrome ketchup. So what have you watched lately for media? We'll kind of wrap up here with a little media review. We like to, sometimes unplug our mind. And I watched, it was I think it was a Swedish series called 1899. It's kind of like a steampunk horror psychological sci-fi that takes place on a boat, and it's 8 episodes, and it was dubbed, it was well acted. I thought the characters were good, but honestly it was too drawn out. It was good, but I kind of fell asleep and lost interest. I stuck it out till the end. If you like sci-fi, well-made sci-fi, it's the same people who made that series Dark on Netflix, which was really popular. The characters are compelling, but it got a little slow at times. So if you don't mind the slow burn, it's pretty cool. A couple of the episodes, you're still thinking to yourself, what the hell is going on? And more gets revealed gradually. And there's some pretty cool twists. If you're paying attention, you can probably see some of them coming. But that was pretty entertaining and well made for Netflix, considering at this point, Netflix is probably like 90% just garbage. Like you spend 2 hours searching through Netflix to try and watch something, and then you fall asleep by the time you land on something. And then, of course, we watched the new installment of Filthy Rich, the Ghislaine Maxwell documentary. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, not a lot. Didn't learn a lot. I mean, it went into her background a little bit, which was interesting, to know who her father was and how basically she was just a daddy's girl, trustafarian her whole life, and one of these fail upward type people. And it was basically Les Wexner's money via Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's Rolodex via her father. And you put that together with the backing and funding of the mega group and all of those people. And of course, they didn't talk about Wexner at all. They didn't talk about the mega group at all. It's some sanitation. They're sanitizing.
A lot of surface. Yeah, there was a lot of surface level.
Yep, they're going to sanitize it. And
they did interview Ryan Dawson for some reason for that film. They didn't have him. He wasn't the featured researcher for some reason.
Right, they didn't have Ryan in it, man. That's crazy.
I learned that she, say what you will about her, she tried to save the ocean, and I think that that's very admirable.
Terramar.
The Terramar Project. Join me. Become a citizen of Terramar. It's like,
oh my God. Dude, when they included that photo shoot of her, though, on the beach with, like, the high heels.
Yeah, the stilettos.
That was everything, dude.
It just shows you how out of touch she is, and a lot of people in that league are. Like, she hasn't really apologized for what she's done or really acknowledged it, and just that type of behavior, and that's her on the beach. It's like, but I guess she's doing well in Florida. She's finding her voice in the prison, in the Camp Cupcake type place where she's locked up, and she's leading yoga groups, and she's teaching a lot. And she's working in the library, and she's finding her voice down there in prison. So hopefully they can get her some oranges. What a sick world, dude! What a fucking sick world, man. And then
she got 20 years. That's it.
She'll probably survive and get out, man, because she's not going to roll. I don't see her rolling. I mean, she would have cut. She should have gotten life. She should have gotten. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other. But yeah, so that was pretty good. I mean, they did include Annie Farmer in her testimony. I was glad to see that, because her and Maria were two just so instrumental in the whole thing. And if the FBI and the powers that be did the right thing in '96, man, and listened to those girls, so many people would have been spared. Right. So that's the real fucking sad, disgusting. One of the sad, disgusting parts of the whole sordid affair is that it's basically government-sponsored trafficking. At the end of the day, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Lawsuit came out against Leon Black. A woman accused him of rape, and Leon Black's name has always been thrown around. Of course, he gave Epstein $150 or $160 million just for financial advice and consulting. And he would go to Epstein's townhouse mansion simply because Epstein didn't have an office anywhere else. So that's the only reason he would have been there, upstairs at the mansion with all the cameras.
He had to go there, just like Ehud Barak had to go to the apartments where all the teenage models were.
And Prince Andrew. Yeah.
Well, I was duty bound to tell him in person to break off the relationship, because I am a gentleman. And showing that picture, I just can't remember. I've never seen it. Mommy cut a check for £13 million before she went to hell. That was one of her last acts as queen. But besides picking up the, her dog's Dookie, her son was cutting the check for £13 million. Clown world abides, man. I did watch the horror film Smile. Man, it was disturbing. I had a couple of friends, see that and tell me to watch it. And it was actually a big hit. Like, it did very well box office wise, and it even got really good reviews. And it's, like a great horror film. There's jump scares and it's scary, but it's a story about guilt and grief and loss and regret, disguised as a 2-hour, psychological horror film. So if you want to see something creepy, check out Smile and watch it with somebody. Don't watch it by yourself. That's about it for media. And people have asked us how they can support the show and, support us and keep the trains rolling. I recently joined Venmo. Eric's been on there. Eric, this is your Venmo, Senator Jackman 86.
Yep. Best way to support myself and the channel directly, if you have Venmo and you like what we do and you want to send us a tip, or you want to put in a request. If you want to request Mike to send you a video of Lindsey Graham and Rand Paul taking a sauna together.
Wow.
Or any kind of scenario you could think of.
We can do that. Yeah.
Send in the request, and we'll talk about price. We can negotiate. We're businessmen. Okay. We're capitalists, but we have a talent. So you're not going to get it 100% for free. We talked about commodifying and monetizing things. That's one thing I'm in favor of, commodifying and monetizing. But no, in all seriousness, the best way to support us is those Venmos. Mike's is Mike Jackman 1986. And then think about becoming a patron on patreon.com/Jackman Radio. $5, $10, $20 a month. That really will help us keep the channel going and booking bigger name guests. With the presidential primary coming up here in New Hampshire, we want to do another round of those great in-person interviews that we did last time around. And if you haven't been with us for that long or followed the channel that long, we have some great in-person interviews where we sat down and hired a professional videographer. Our dear friend who was in the chat earlier came up, and he has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of the highest end video equipment and lighting and sound, and he's a professional film editor. And we like to hire him when we can book these candidates or these high profile people to sit down with us and film it and put it on our channel. So we got, Andrew Yang, Tulsi, Marion Williamson, Bill Weld, Joe Sestak, the author.
Governor Mark Sanford.
Mark Sanford. We didn't ask about the trip to Argentina. Yeah, Bill Weld and Stephen Kinzer. We did, what did we do? 7 of those?
We did like 7 of those. And those were pretty much all out of pocket. So, and if you want to become a sponsor of an entire episode and feel like you want to contribute more, we can put you in as a producer or whatever. I mean, we're creative and flexible.
And and if you have an idea or something you want Mike and I to dig into or cover or look, and you want to partner with us or interested, let us know. And let me put the email address in here to connect with us.
But for our audio listeners, that is patreon.com/Jackman Radio. And my Venmo is Mike Jackman 1986. And Eric's is Senator Jackman 86. And, we appreciate your support. We do have around 30 patrons. And it's, like I've said, it's helped us purchase these mics, just keep things running every month. Even thinking about the internet bill, right? I mean, that's, there's costs for everything. So we love doing this, and it's, I don't have a problem asking for people to become patrons. I think we have a great resume and a great product, and a history of really great research and interviews. And if we ever get something wrong or make a mistake, I do my best in due diligence to correct myself or put out really solid information. And I really do take pride in that, because I've spent many years of my life digging into a lot of this stuff, and I think it matters. And I think the way it's presented matters, and I think it's important to be as accurate and timely as possible with it. We are jokesters, Eric, aren't we? But the information's, I think it's got to be good, man. I think that's why people like it, and they want to hear about it, man. Obviously you want to hear about pop culture nonsense every now and again, and we touch on
Sure.
that. But
yeah,
people want to hear the real stuff too. So I just did 3 episodes about the Kennedy assassination this month, which I really enjoyed doing. I had Max Good, who made the Ruth Payne documentary, Mrs. Payne and it's either called The Assassination and Mrs. Payne or Mrs. Payne and the Assassination. I can never remember. But that is available if you want to watch that. So I had the filmmaker Max Good on for a great chat, and he actually did a screening at the Alamo Drafthouse in D.C. with Max Blumenthal for the 59th anniversary. So that was really cool. And then I had Joseph McBride on, who spent decades of his life researching the J.D. Tippit killing, which was the police officer that they originally charged Oswald with. Killing that police officer, which, there's tons of evidence to suggest that it was not Oswald, just like it wasn't Oswald who shot Kennedy. And then I had on Oliver Stone's son, Mr. Sean Stone, a friend of the podcast. Had a lot of fun talking with him about the legacy of the film JFK. So we want to continue to do more JFK themed episodes, because it is a very dense area. It's something I've always enjoyed researching and looking at and talking about. And of course, 9/11. Our 9/11 episodes are always very popular. We want to do more with that. We're lucky to have people like Adam Fitzgerald and Mr. Dawson and others to come on and talk with us about that. So yeah, keep in touch, guys. Any subjects you want us to cover or areas or more shows.
And if you want to put the email up, Mike, there for the podcast for people to see if they want to reach out.
Did you send that to me in the chat, or
it's in the live chat? Let's see it. I shared it under my name, but yeah, if you have something like a pitch,
what is it?
Something
is it
Jackman Radio Podcast at gmail.com. If you have something you would interested in Mike and I looking into, or you want to collaborate on, or you want to pitch us for just a funny video. Kind of like a cameo where you have an idea, you want to send a greeting to somebody, you want a video of Trump, you want a video of Rand Paul, Lindsey Graham, Jesse Ventura, and you want to send it to someone, one of your friends, a family member, or just a cute message or something like that, shoot us an email there and pitch it to us, and we can get a dialogue going and come up with a video for you. I've certainly done a lot of these as Trump, and Mike, is great with his impressions and stuff. So we'd love to hear from you, and, we appreciate everybody's support.
Absolutely. And John B., we really appreciate your support as another one of our lovely patrons. Here's to Trump, DeSantis, Tulsi, Alex Jones, all on Jackman Radio in 2023. Hey, man, it could happen.
It absolutely could happen.
All we got to do is dare to dream, folks. I mean, we can put a man on the moon and film it in the back lot with Stanley Kubrick. We can go to Bohemian Grove to do shots of adrenochrome smoothies. Anything's possible, folks, with your help. So...
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
That's about it, guys. Really great episode tonight. Thanks to our pop-in guest, Pasta Jardula from the Convo Couch. Check him out on Rockfin and AM Wake Up that he has. He's doing great work over there. And any final thoughts, Eric, before we blast off?
That's about it, man. We're going into December tomorrow. And I just appreciate everybody tuning in and watching what we do and supporting what we do. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to keep at it. And lots of cool things coming up, and we'll always be working on booking interesting guests to have fascinating conversations that you won't see anywhere else. So appreciate you all tuning in.
Like, share, and subscribe to all of our stuff. I got to remember to say that more. Yeah, I got to remember to do that.
Let's get the subs up on this channel. We're at 2,400 right now. So
yeah,
it's been growing. It's a steady uptick, but we're going to keep at it. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and follow me on all social medias And I hope you have a great rest of your evening.
All right.